and go home. But again, we don't give up easily because we are not normal. We don't do normal things. So we would push and try and see what happens. My mother taught me selflessness. So basically for 9 years, growing up as a child, I watched her go into rural communities in Isheri-Oke, Ogun State, going across the river every day to teach underprivileged children in school. She was a teacher. She's retired now. And for 9 years, I watched her take a boat every day and come back home. She doesn't know how to swim. But she went across the river every day and came back home every single day for 9 years. And even when they tried to transfer her out and transfer other teachers in, the other teachers would be like, no, Mrs. Mabadeje like you over the river. And so they will take her back to the community and post the teachers out. And she never complained for one day. And she risked her life every single day. And I also remember while growing up, that was when she started her teacher training course. And she had to leave us at home with my dad. And my dad was, the only food my dad probably could cook was eba. He was an expert eba maker. And he did not even consider that he was making eba for kids. So the size of the eba was not small at all. And so when my mom says she's going off for a course over the weekend, we know that all through the weekend we'll be eating eba. And that eba will be very huge. And if you don't finish it, it's trouble. And so many times, sitting at the dining table with my siblings, we'll take all this mold of eba and lay it under the dining table. And we'll tell my dad that he's probably hearing for the first time here now. And tell my dad that we are full, we are done. But those two incidents shaped my life and my future. They told me that I can have a husband that supports my work. They told me also that I can be very selfless in life and the things that I do. To become the new tribe of Africa. Sometimes you feel that you are inadequate. Sometimes you feel like you do not even have enough within you to push on. Sometimes you feel like, these people, maybe their background has shaped them in such a way and you didn't have that privilege. But many times, it is about surrounding yourself with the right people who can inspire you to action, who can cheer you on and up, who can tell you to keep pushing. In the university, I was a very introverted person. There are people I never spoke to in my class in university. I was just deeply introverted. But I had this group of friends. And in the final year, one of their friends became the LSS president. And they wanted to select somebody for a debate in LASU. And my friends were part of the friends of the LSS president. And they said, Peju will lead the debate to LASU. Peju that is deeply introverted. They kept on saying I can do it. And I remember from taking the trip from OAU down to LASU that day, I just kept cramming everything I needed to say. The topic had to do with exercise of the court's discretion in impeachment proceedings. And Eto and Dayo kept telling me I can do it. And we got on stage, and they called the chief speaker from OAU. And I got on that stage, and Eto will probably remember this line, where I said, the exercise of the court's discretion in impeachment proceedings is nothing but a tantalizing mirage. Don't try me, oh. The whole hall, everybody was shouting, and I'm like, it's like I'm making sense. I'm making sense. And so I continued with my tantalizing mirage. And then we finished. And everybody came to meet me that I spoke so well. And my friends were very happy. And we won that debate. We did. We did. To the shame of the devil. We did. And we went back to OAU. But that singular opportunity broke me loose. That opportunity made me realize that, look, there's no point to being like this. There's so much more you can achieve. Surround yourself with the people who see gold in you, who can help you polish that dust off your diamond, and who would never ever hesitate to give you the opportunity to shine. Always. Which takes me to the second point. Okay. So this is me. In 2008, at the law school graduation, you can see I'm a slay queen. Even if you don't think so, I think so. And I'm all that matters. And my husband too, he thinks so. And I finished law school, came to Lagos. Got a job immediately with a senior advocate of Nigeria. If you are a lawyer, you would know that working with a senior advocate of Nigeria is one of the best things that young lawyers look forward to. And I got a job with this senior advocate at Onikon. And I worked there. After the first week of working there, I received a call from a woman. She said I should come for an interview in Lekki. And I went. I got to Lekki phase 1, and I entered the place. They were setting up chairs. They were doing stuff. They were just basically setting up the firm. I met Miss Aboyade. I had an interview with her that day. And what she did at the interview was to basically tell me her goals, her dreams, her vision, what she wanted to get out of this. And she also told me that she was just starting up the firm. We ended the interview. I went back to work. And 2 days later, she called me and offered me a job in a new law firm that she was just starting. A job for 70,000 naira. At the law firm where I was working, I was also earning 70,000 naira. The law firm was at Onikon. I was earning 70,000 naira. Established law firm. The man is already a senior advocate. And then there was this other law firm that was just starting. In Lekki phase 1, same 70,000 naira. And I sat down and thought about it. I was coming from Yanokpaja every day. And when I say Yanokpaja is just like a landmark. Oh. Like you cannot get to Yanokpaja and say, Peju, I'm at Yanokpaja. I will now tell you, look. I will now say, wait now. I'll say, wait, hold on. Now, which side of Yanokpaja, left or right? You give me description. I'll now tell you, okay, so you need to cross. Don't take him also inside bus. It does not get full quickly. Take command, Aboru or Ipaja. Drop at Imoson bus stop. So when you get to Imoson and you tell me, Peju, I'm not at Imoson, come out. I will now say no. Take a bike from there. And ask for so and so. That's the type of Yanokpaja I was living. So I was basically taking one bike and 3 buses to work. Because I will get to Yanokpaja first and then commute from there. And then when I get to Obalende, commute to work. And this woman is basically turning my 3 buses and 1 bike to 2 bikes and 4 buses. For the same 70,000 naira. But guess what I did? I resigned my appointment with the senior advocate and joined this woman. And there was a reason for it. I wanted to see the possibility. I wanted to see real life growth. I wanted to have the opportunity of watching somebody's dream come alive. I want to see what being able to bet a vision and live through that vision looks like. Her goal was to become a senior advocate of Nigeria. 5 years ago, she became one. And I learned all through the process. And the process taught me that everything is possible. Everything is possible. You start with your vision. You sell your goals to your staff. You let them know. Infuse them with passion. They buy into it. You kick off. All of you are on the same page. There's no way you would not achieve your goals. And so while working with her, in 2011, taking the same principle of vision, goals, and everything, seeing her walk through our own journey and processes. I was at work one day, and Bemi called me and told me Juwura was dead. And we started crying over the phone. What happened? Juwura died during childbirth. Juwura had picked an elective CS. She had sought one of the best healthcares in Nigeria. She was educated, brilliant. I think she was even on scholarship for her master's. But she still died at childbirth. And we just could not understand it. And I remember I was crying over the phone that day. And then 2 weeks later, another call. Bukumi had died at childbirth. Same thing, same story. And that's when I realized that, look, you can have all the dreams, visions, and goals in life. Tomorrow is not even guaranteed for anybody. That period was very exhausting for me. And for the first time since starting to work with Mr. Boyade, I took leave off work. And during the period of my leave off work, my plan was this. If people who are educated, who are knowledgeable, who have information, have finances, have powers to determine what they want to do with their life, can die at childbirth, what is happening in rural communities? And so I took a trip into rural communities. And I saw women giving birth on bare floors. I saw midwife. It does not have mucus, it does not have, they use their mouth to suck out mucus from noses of newborn to prevent asphyxia. And I saw people tying nylon bags or plastic sheet on their hand to improvise for gloves. I saw situations that was just so damning. I came back to Lagos and I went to meet one of my close friends. And I told her, come, see what is happening in these communities. Something, because we are really close friends. We go everywhere together. Even when we graduated, we were together distributing CVs. And I told her, we need to do something about this. Let's do it together. And she told me she was not interested. That this law and not the money we have paid in law school, we should not let it waste. If you're a lawyer, you will know what I'm talking about. That we should not let it waste. And so she felt like she spoke some sense into me, and I felt like I had received sense too. So I went back home. I'm like, Peju, give yourself brain. Law school fees is not a joke. Just face this law. But you know what? I couldn't. And that's when I understood that your vision is your vision. Your goal in life is different from somebody else's goal. Your race is different. And so, it doesn't matter if nobody else is seeing what you are seeing. You are the one with the vision. And you are the one that should run with the vision. And that's how I determined to do something about it. Okay, so now I want to do something about it. What? What do I do? How do I even start? I don't have anybody that has 1 million somewhere that they are not using. How do I start? And I remember that portion in the Bible where Moses was complaining, and God said, what do you have in your hands? And I thought, okay, so Facebook is free. I can reach out to a couple of people on Facebook. I'm like, I need to minimize my expenses. Let me reach out to a number of, say, State House of Assembly members in Ogun State and see who would respond. And I sent out messages to a number of them, maybe about 10 or 13 of them, back then in 2011. Some people didn't respond at all. 2 people responded and said no. You know how they write very nice emails that, oh, very great idea, but this is not the focus right now. As soon as this is our focus, we'll come back to you. That kind of mail. But one person wrote back and said, yes, come to my community, my constituency. Let's try this thing that you have said out. You said you want to train better attendants in my constituency. Yes, come. Let's try it out. And so he invited me to the House of Assembly in Ogun State. And I'm like, you know this Facebook, maybe it's even scam like that. Maybe they want to do kidnapping. Maybe something. This is Nigeria. So I called 2 of my male friends. And we left for Abeokuta together. And we met this legislator, this State House of Assemblyman. And he said, yes, Peju, that's Honorable Kamafe. And he said, yes, try it out. And that the only reason he's actually giving me the opportunity is because he himself is a lawyer. And that because I'm a lawyer, he will just give me the opportunity. Which is something. Understand that when you reach out to people, it doesn't always have to be about money. It can just even be a platform to talk about what you do, to test your ideas, to validate it, to see whether it would work or not. Because that is exactly what Honorable Kamafe did for me in 2011. But then I went back home. This man has given me platform. What about the people that we work? My background is in law. I know zero, nothing about medicals, nothing about maternal and child health except the research that I had done. And that's when I sat down and made another list. My brother, younger brother, is a doctor. We went to OAU together. There were times that I've helped him out now, giving him money, cooked for him. This is payback time. This is payback time. And I called Remy. You would always have those people that would show up, that you can call, show now, and they will show. That you say jump, their only question is how high. Those type of people. And I sat down and looked through my contacts and called number 1 Remy. That one has no choice. It's yes or yes. So I already penned him down as trainer. And then I needed to settle who will take us there. And I'm like, my husband, then we're just dating. He has a car. He has no choice. His own too is yes or yes, he will take me. So transportation is settled to Shagamu. But I need MC. And I know that my husband is very calm. He does not even like this MC. I'm like, also yes or yes, he's MC. And then I got my sister, Bomi too, on it. And then I went to Ipaja and told my mom that she needed to just help me cook small meal for some small people that we are just going to Shagamu to just, our own too was yes or yes. And then my colleague at work then, Mokut too was yes or yes. Because we are at work together. And so the yes or yes team carried themselves to Shagamu and had our first program. And then we started. We saw all these birth attendants. We interviewed them and tried to get exactly clarity on what we were going to do. Remember that Asiwaju already gave me the platform. All I needed to do was to bring in the people that would work. He funded the whole platform thing. Because, of course, he's a politician. And as politicians, by the time we got there, we saw a big banner already. But that's not even my concern. My concern is that you are giving me this platform to test my ideas as a lawyer. We had a very good program, and he invited us again to do it. And that's when I realized that you should never ever in life, when growing yourself or when trying to do something, let your degree or education put you in a box. Never let it be. Never. Your degree or education should only help spoil your thinking. It should never put you in a box. You should not say things like, I can't do it because I'm a lawyer. I can't do it because I studied law. You can do everything. I'm a firm believer that you can do anything and everything you set your eyes to do. And so we started doing community outreaches and going to different places. But then, of course, as we went along, we understood that we needed to build sustainability around the work we were doing. Personally, I don't like going cap in hand, begging people 700 naira to buy mosquito nets, 500 naira will save a child from school, and all those things. And so working in the north made us realize that there was a problem of access to sterile supplies. Landing costs, when commodities move from Lagos into the north, the landing costs are far higher. And so it increases the cost of purchase for those people. And these things become very out of reach for them. Going into Zamfara State, seeing a baby whose umbilical cord had been severed with a rusty blade, and he had contracted neonatal tetanus, died before we left the community, made us know it was time for us to start Mothers Delivery Kits. But then there was a challenge. You want to start a business, like you just managed to pass mathematics at WAEC level. You don't even like calculations, except of course, if money is moving, you know. You know those things. I mean, you can calculate. If Zenith Bank should deduct extra 50 naira, I know extra 50 naira has gone. And at that time, an opportunity came to apply for the Mandela Washington Fellowship. And I thought that it was a good time for me to actually try and get some background knowledge in not only business and entrepreneurship, because they were also offering background knowledge in global health. And I applied, I was selected, studied business and entrepreneurship at the University of Texas, got background knowledge from the United Nations Foundation, worked with their maternal and child health team there, across different projects they had in different countries. And then as I was coming back, got seed funding from one of the United States agencies, $25,000 to kickstart my business. And it made me realize that, look, the whole world will stand aside for a man who knows where he's going. If you have a dream and a vision, and you are so passionate about it, and you pursue it relentlessly, the universe will conspire to make it happen for you. And so I came back and started Mothers Delivery Kits. And we were working across different communities. I got back from work sometime in 2015, while still working on Mothers Delivery Kit, and I looked at my phone and saw a private number, missed call. The number called back. And I picked up my phone, and the person said, "Hi." I'm like, "Yes." The person said, "This is Rahmana from the White House." I'm just like, scammers. Is this Adepeju Jaiyeoba? I'm like, And she was like, has someone called you? And in my mind, I'm thinking, so you're even a group of people working together. I'm like, no. She said, someone else will call you. I'm like, say what you want to say. And she was like, no, someone else will call you. And dropped. Immediately after, I just called my husband and told him, you will not believe what just happened now. And I was like, what? Said, I told him, someone just called and said from White House in Washington. My husband started, don't give your pin to anybody. Don't release your account number. They may send you an email that you should change something. Don't respond. You know, because all this in White House. Is it White House in Yaba? What's White House? That, me too, I'm like, no, you don't worry. Maybe you grew up in Ekiti. Me, I grew up in Lagos. Let me see the scammer that will scam me. And moreover, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. And so we ended the discussion. But someone else I had worked with while in the US now called me. Say, hi, Peju. Actually, they've been trying to reach you from the White House and now gave me briefing. I'm like, maybe it's true if this lady can call. And so after she dropped, Ramana called back and was like, hello, Peju. Is that Adepeju Jaiyeoba? I'm like, yes, speaking. Yeah. And she was like, would like to invite you to the White House. Are you available? I'm very free. I'm very free. And that was how the trip to the White House to meet President Obama happened. And my point is this. At the point when we started in 2011, working in our own little corner, trying to make change happen for women, it was not in expectation of any reward or recognition or awards, because they don't make us. They don't validate us. They don't validate the work we do. The smiles on the faces of the women that we save, the smiles on the babies, giving women an opportunity to watch their babies grow, and giving babies the chance to live their potential is enough reward for us. Enough reward, enough recognition, enough validation of the work that we do. This is 2018. We have sold over 500,000 kits. We have worked in over 300 communities. Even the Covenant team, media team will attest, it was difficult even trying to get us have our interview session because we're all over. We're everywhere. And I can see that I have less than 3 minutes left. I just want to say in closing that imagine this room was dark. And pastor says that everybody calm down, halogen light is coming, they will put it on, and so all of us can see. And we all sit down, waiting for the halogen lamp to arrive. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, we are still waiting. Meanwhile, we have in our pockets candles that we can light. We have flash that all of us can put on. That when we put it on, it will even be brighter than the halogen lights we are waiting for. We must always act. Always act. Think about it. What is in your hands? You have something in your hands. And I have only one thing to say. If my speech today and the speech of all other speakers have challenged you to do something, to start something, to change something in your community, and while doing it, you have the good fortune to achieve some measure of success doing that thing, never ever forget to send the ladder back down for others to climb up. Never ever forget to inspire others to greatness. Being a lone ranger in this field, in any field, is not enough. Your success is measured by the value of lives that you have taught and the changes you have created. Thank you very much.